Hello, City Bestie. Welcome back to CreativeDisc exclusive interview with me, Luthfi. And right now, we have a born South Korean DJ and electronica musician. But right now, based on San Francisco, I think like his music is very, laid back indie electronic in 2010s vibe, early 2010s vibe, which is I really love. And right now, he have a new EP come out, which is like it kind of like throwback sound to the indie glory days in 2010. So, without further ado, this is 3kelves. How's it going,
Hi,
man?
how's it going?
Yeah, all good, all good. So, what activities that have you done?
Lately,
Yeah.
no, I just getting really ready for the EP release and also
Hmm?
played a few shows, DJ shows with my friend Don't See Green.
Hmm?
Yeah, around San Francisco, back again.
Ah, I see. So, before I deep dive into your music, I wanted to ask, why do you use the stage name 3kelves as your stage name? Because it's interesting.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It was in college and then it was like a nickname that I like thought of as well in college
Hmm.
while eating cookies. So there were like elves on there. So yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us about your latest EP called correct me if I misspelled it. Taiwook?
Yeah, Taewook. It's my Korean name. My first EP released earlier this year was Lucas, which is like my American name. So I think
Mhm.
it's I don't know, just kind of continuing as a series of like kind of like indie electronica EPs that I've been releasing
Mm.
under my real name. So
Oh,
yeah.
so what's the difference between your Lucas side and your Taiwook side?
Oh yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's one side, same side of the coin a little bit, but yeah, I think Lucas is much more American given name, and Taewook is the Korean roots in a lot of sense. But you know, the name's meaning is exactly the same actually. When my
Oh,
parents came to America, they looked at baby name books and what the names mean, and Taewook means guiding light, and then Lucas was
oh.
God of light. So they were like, okay, it's you know the meaning behind the name is the same. So I like that idea a lot. So I put that into my music as well too.
Oh wow. There is one song I think like called Hope Core that feels I
Mhm.
think like an indie electronica that I said before from the early 2010s. And I think it's really interesting that you are reworking it as a style of song that was popular back in the day. Not
Mhm.
rehashing but kind of remake it. So can you tell us more about that song?
Yeah, I think especially, I mean, you know, I've been making a lot of disco house music
Mm.
and house music electronica, but the indie roots is where I really grew up from and also what I used to listen to a lot and still listen to a lot to this day. So I felt like I was finally ready to explore that a little bit because my skill as a music producer has grown so much in the few years. So I decided to make something, yeah, that is more fitting. And I think it's the right time to do it. And I feel very confident behind it as well too. So
I think what's the difference when you are DJing and you make your own song and recording your vocal and making like one piece of song rather than playing another song?
yeah, for sure. Absolutely. DJing is a lot of fun. I think it's like a lot more active and you know,
Mm.
I've been able to do a lot more gigs thanks to it because there's not much like band. You just need to bring a USB stick, which is really easy. So I was able to do some shows in Jakarta and Tokyo and
Oh.
Korea as well too, thanks to that. But yeah, live I would definitely want to get into at a certain point, but with the indie music. But I think you know, it's not too
Mm.
far in
Mm.
between 3kelves as a DJ set, between 3kelves as a indie rock set, you know. The
Mhm.
influences are still very all rooted in indie music, rock
Mm.
music, and
Mm.
disco music. So
But did you encounter difficulties when you are starting make your own song? Because I
Mhm.
think like the transition between DJing and making your own song, I think like it's kind of like maybe I don't know, maybe it's kind of difficult. It's like,
Yeah,
do you have a challenge?
yeah, actually, I always wanted to, but I never have done it, especially because I didn't think that I was like too good at singing or like I didn't think I was good enough in a lot of
Mm.
sense. But then I went to Jakarta, Indonesia to work with this band, We Are Neurotic, who
Oh
I've been
my God.
working with a lot. And when I was making music with them, I kind of like just sang song on it, and then that gave me a lot of confidence. And then afterwards, I just began making a lot of indie rock songs after joining them. So it's been good.
Oh my God, that's my favorite band too. We Are Neurotic.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
They're the
But
best
did you
type of
know
stuff.
they are previously a band called Neurotic, and they are playing indie rock, indie dance song? Did you
Yeah, yeah,
know?
yeah. No, that's what it helped too. A lot of actually, a lot of instrumentals are from the band members of We Are Neurotic. So, yeah,
Oh.
so this last EP and this EP and pretty much anything that I make forward is probably gonna have, members of the band joining in on those songs because I always need their help, and they're probably the greatest musicians I've ever met in my life. So I'm very fortunate to have them.
Okay, okay. So this is very interesting for me because when
Hmm.
I look at your favorite playlist from 2008 until 2023, I found a
Hmm.
lot of indie rock songs in there, and I think your love for indie rock, I think has influenced your music now. Why the indie rock influence in your playlist influence your music? Because I think like indie
Yeah.
rock and electronic is like kind of distant thing.
Yeah, I think when I was growing up, especially in America, I moved to America when I was 12.
Oh,
And you know, I didn't speak English very well
oh.
back then. And so I didn't have too many friends because of that as well too, learning a new
Mm,
language.
mm,
But I think like through music,
mm,
and discovery of music and also finding new music,
mm,
always kind of um, made me find my best friends basically in college and through life.
mm.
And right now as well too. I mean, me and the We Are Neurotic guys and Dylan Seagreen, who I've worked with a lot as well too. They all love this kind of a indie rock music, especially because I think like it was a lot more different than pop
Mm,
music. And we knew that like, music can go a lot further
mm,
and it can be a lot more different in the ways of self-expression. So I think that's why we like try to find new music all the time. And,
mm.
indie rock music has always been like kind of outlier always. So
It's true because I think like, when I see your playlist, I think like we share like similarities in my opinion. I really like your playlist, but below it, but I think like the most the 2012, the 2012 until 2008 era.
yeah, I mean those were the golden days of indie rock. And also like sometimes when I look back at like,
Mm.
the year that like Phoenix released Wolfgang
Oof.
Amadeus Phoenix and all that stuff, that year was like I think insane because like I think three of my favorite albums of all time has come out in that year, I think, as well too. So yeah.
Because
I,
yeah, because I found out that you like Surfer Blood Swims. It's very
hmm.
rare in my
Yeah.
opinion, and some of
Mhm.
Wolf Braid stuff. Like, where did you find these songs?
I don't know. I think definitely like blogs under
Oh
the
my
radar
god.
work and all those stuff definitely helped. But also at the same time, I was in that's when I went into college, and then I was very involved with the radio stations
Oh.
in college radio stations, and we would always get free music and free CDs, promo CDs for free. And
Uh,
then so when you would go into the radio station, you would just like for a whole hour you're radio DJing, but also at the same time you're burning your disc into MP3 files onto your computer at the same time and just getting like new music every week. And then so like, it will be radio DJing, but also like trying to get as much new music as possible in the radio station while you're there. So yeah, I think that's really the origin.
oh, okay, 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 okay. So you are previously like working on your on a college radio.
Hmm.
Oh, as an announcer, or
Like it shows, and also I was a music director over there as well too for 2 or 3 years, which was a lot of fun. Which was a lot of calling music labels and stuff, and they would send me like, all the stuff, and then they would be like, "Can you please push like this album, that album, and have you checked out that album, all that stuff?" So that was a lot of fun.
I think like that shows why you have a so eclectic type range of music because I think like you're a music director because it's kind of strange when I see your playlist. You it kind of like jump to the so many genres. I see like Mirrors by Justin Timberlake,
Hmm.
and if I scroll it down, I found Swim and Wolf Parade album. I think like
Hmm.
because you're a music director, I think like it kind of like influence your music right now because you've got so many music in your catalog, in your playlist, and you want to try it down into your music, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think that's why also like I feel good about it now. Making the
Mm,
songs that I'm making right now is because like it's a culmination of everything that I've been listening to all my life and like making the music that I always wanted to make and like what I think is sounds good. And now I think I tried for many years, but I always felt like I didn't have enough resources or I wasn't good enough.
mm.
But right now it feels all the songs on the EP and the last EP that I've made and all the songs that I'm making right now, I feel very good about as well too. So yeah.
Okay, so if I may ask, because I actually already working on in radio maybe like 4 years ago, I think, and I in my past I was a music director too in my college radio, and it's
Oh,
very
nice, awesome.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I think like what's your biggest decision? What's your biggest reason you want to? Okay, I want to go to the radio and I want to be a music director because I think like when you go to the college radio, people want to make a big as an announcer, as a the people on the mic, but not behind the mic. What's your biggest reason? What's your biggest why you are choosing music director in your college radio? If I may ask.
Oh, I think it's really because I was the one who was like discovering all the new music a lot of times among my friends as well too. And also, um, I was in a lot of bands back then as well too, and all that stuff.
Oh.
So I always you know,
Hmm.
pushing music forward in my college group of friends and everything. And yeah.
Okay, so when you're DJing, what is your most exciting DJ experience to share with us?
Oh, actually just last week, no, 2 weeks ago,
Hmm.
I was in New York City and then Disclosure called me up for a opening set
Them.
for their sold out show in New York
Oh.
City. Yeah, that came together very quickly and that
Hmm.
was very exciting. And before that, I was in New York City with Dylan and we played this place called Elsewhere,
Mm-mm.
which is one of the biggest clubs in New York City, and
Oh
that was a
wow.
lot of fun. And yeah, and then also played this LA place called Kiss Kiss Bang Bang we really like.
Hmm?
So yeah, a lot of good shows. Even last week, actually, for Halloween, Young Bae, if you know Young Bae,
Oh,
who makes the
okay.
funk music,
Yeah.
we opened for him, and that was one of the more fun shows that me and Dylan played, DJing wise. But yeah, in the future, I'm trying to set up a live show behind this EP, so I'm looking forward to that as well too.
I'm looking forward to maybe like see the live recording on it too.
Oh yeah, I think we're trying to make some sort of a video happen just for yeah, just for breaks too. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think like you mentioned it like you were born in South Korea and like moving in the States
Mhm.
and moving in the States right now. What are the difference between where you were born and where you live now, especially maybe like on the cultural side or music side in your
Oh
opinion?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not I think I've done a lot of Korean indie music over there
Oh.
as well too. Especially when I was in America, I was trying to follow what's going on in Korea a little bit.
Oh.
And still to this day, I still check out Poklanos, who's
Mm.
like a big indie label. I think they're the biggest indie label in
Oh.
Korea right now. And so I've been listening to whoever is getting released on there as well too. So Korea's been very interesting in like musical fronts as well. But just growing up wise, I think like, I've passed Korea for a while now, as
Mm.
in I've been here for more than 20 years,
Oh wow.
America. So it's been a while. So
Mm.
definitely more familiar in like San Francisco and California
Mm.
background roots of America. And whenever I go back to Korea, I try to catch up on everything, but I know that I'm not getting everything. But I still try to visit once a year or twice a year.
Mm.
And try to play some shows over there from time to time as well too, which
Mm.
has been also very fun. Every time I play in Korea.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like maybe like trivial, but if you had a time machine, what era
Mhm.
would you want to go back to and why?
Oh yeah, I think it would be the EP and my DJ sets really focuses on the disco era.
Hmm? Oh wow.
So yeah, definitely the disco era along with the punk scene in New York City would be very interesting to see. Or even, I
Mm.
think oh actually I did kind of see a little bit of it, but when I was in high school, when I went to New York in high
Mm?
school, it was the years when like, Yeah Yeah Yeahs and Strokes and
Damn,
yeah,
you experience it?
White Tracker all coming up in New York City, especially with like Dirty Projectors. I mean, I used to sneak out of high school to go see some of the shows for that. So I guess I did see it a little bit, but maybe I wish I was a little older so I could go into all the shows, I guess.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, your experience the New York garage. I don't know New York indie movement 2000s.
Yeah. So I think I up a few schools, boarding
Mm.
schools because my parents were going back to Korea and
Oh.
I picked the New York one just because
Mm.
like I was listening to Strokes and Interpol a little too much at that time and I was like, oh, I want to go there. And then so I did. And then I discovered a lot of like underground New York City scenes as well too from time to time. Like this band Health and
Oh my
also
God,
Dirty Projectors
damn.
and like Waves, the punk band
Wow.
Wave. Yeah, so I was going to their shows in the very early days. And I didn't know at the time, but yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Wow, wow, wow. So basically you are choosing your because of the New York scene.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a big choice for sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was a bold choice, and I think like you even suck it to be part of it. I think
Mhm. Oh,
to
I was it, but I was definitely watching it happen and I didn't know at the time how big it was gonna be, I think, as well too, which is kind of funny to see. Yeah.
yeah. And I think like they are getting like some like maps viral on TikTok right now.
Yeah, which is so funny as well too, but also at the same time it speaks to volumes about, classic songs.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what's next for you after this interview?
Oh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna focus on promoting this EP and then afterwards maybe try to set up a first live show
Mm-hmm.
in San Francisco. And then yeah, I actually have lots of songs left still want to release. So I think I'll try to maybe talk to other labels or even think about in our label how to proceed. But yeah, I got a lot of potential albums and EPs
Mm-hmm.
that are already ready to go. So I'm gonna try to think about it. Yeah.
All right, so that's the wrapping up our interview. So, thank you so much, Lucas or 3kelves for this interview. I really appreciate it as a big indie rock fans too,
Mhm.
and the guys who experienced the New York scene boom. So lucky, dude. I feel very envious of you.
Thank you. I didn't know that at the time, but yeah, it was pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so look session. So thank you very much, CD Bestie, for all the for watching this. And if you want to follow Lucas Calf's music, you can follow him on.
Oh, Instagram, Spotify, Bandcamp, wherever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us the account of your social
Yeah,
media handle?
Kelvs on Instagram and 3kelves on SoundCloud. And yeah, C3DO Recordings is the label that I'm releasing this with, which is me and Dylan and We're Neurotics label. So C3DO Recordings on Bandcamp.
Okay. Okay, so that's a wrap for this interview. Thank you so much, Lucas, for joining me for this session. I know it's like kind of late in the night. Thank you so much.
No problem. This was very fun. Thank you so much for
Thank
having me.
thank you so much for having me too. See ya. Bye.